Hello everyone and welcome to the day 2 of Taboo Week with Girl Up She United. This whole week we will be discussing about various stigmas around the world and how to minimize them further. I am Sanchi Bansal and today with the help of our special guest Ms. Poorva Bansal, we will discuss a social stigma that has been a major cause of poverty, lack of education and cultural taboos, and that is stigma of menstruation. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Can you give us a
Thank
brief
you.
introduction about yourself?
Yes, thank you. Hi everybody. I am Poorva Bansal, and my background is economics. I have done my graduation and masters in economics, and apart from that, I also like to read about psychology and law. That would be it. Uh, एक minute, I cannot hear you.
Sorry. So, ma'am, we have some questions for you about these
Okay.
stigma of menstruation so that we can understand the psychology of human and how does a person think. So, first of all, like since we are on the topic of thinking, so I want to understand how men and women actually like differently do they pursue menstruation, the idea of menstruation differently?
Yes, of course. So if you consider like even if you see around you, you'll notice that the men, since we do not have that kind of an education system where they are taught about menstruation. So men think something like it is something to be ashamed of, or it is something that is dirty, or I saw somewhere in a video where they were saying that it is a kind of extra heat that has to be released from a woman's body, so it is basically a woman's fault if she's menstruating. So they just put the blame of menstruation on the woman also, some men. Okay. And that's not because of that's not their mistake, it's because of the education system. Okay. And if we consider the woman, so women have like many categories, like some in like metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata. Over there's a lot of awareness because the people are educated and they are very open minded, so they are very much aware about why it happens, and they talk openly. Okay. But even in these places, if you notice, women are not very open to talk about it with their male counterparts. So that is a major problem. Apart from that, like obviously, as you go in the low-lying areas, the country places over there, the education level is quite low and the awareness is also low. So women also consider this something to be like that it is something to be hidden and a hush hush affair. Okay. So that is how different people see it differently.
So, ma'am, since you are saying that this is because of the lack of education, so do you think that men should be, or like boys should be taught about menstruation at an early age? And if yes, so at which age should we teach them?
Okay, so basically, what I think is that men, obviously, men should be like boys should be taught about menstruation, because you cannot turn a blind eye to something that half the population is going through every month, and it's not something to be ashamed of. It's a very natural process, just like we eat, drink. That's like a process. It's a natural process. So according to me, men should be educated about it, uh, like around when they hit puberty. Okay. When they hit puberty, they should be told about it, and the matter of the fact over here is that they should be told in a very sensitive manner. They should not be, all the period jokes which are going around, if you are a cranky, or if you're having an opinion, then you are termed as doing PMSing, right? So it is because they are not educated about it, so they make a joke out of it. That is important to also, because in later time, sometime they will also face someone who will be on their periods, right? So they have to be very sensitive about it. They have to be sensitized what women face. That's the thing I want to say about it.
So, ma'am, like when a girl starts her period for the first time or like every month, then her mother like advises her to like just keep it a secret from her father or brother. Do you think that this practice is like okay?
Okay, so again, the same point we are coming at, that all this is because of the menstrual shame. Okay, there's a lot of theories which are going around that it is dirty blood that is coming out. Okay, or it is something to be like just wash it away or just disappear from my, like, don't come out, don't just stay in your room and don't like come out, or don't bathe, don't like a lot of nonsense theories are also like going around in many countries. Like in many countries there are theories like don't wash your hair, okay, or don't touch pickle, okay, don't touch pickle, it will go bad if you are on your periods, right? And the matter of the fact that um, that that we do not even call it by the name. We call it by different slangs like Japan and I am down today. That itself shows that how much the women are ashamed to be told, and not just first time periods. Like in the Indian society, it is considered like a very it's a very normal affair that it's a very hush hush thing that if you are on your periods, don't tell it to everybody, okay? And even if you observe, like you and me when we were in school, if if we told someone that we are on a periods, or if we do not want to play in our sports period, then everybody used to mock us that, oh, she's on her periods today, and that's a joke. So maybe to avoid that, embarrassment, women learned to just keep it secret, right?
So, ma'am, like you just use the term like they are like really ashamed of telling about their periods and everything. So, can you like brief us through about the term menstrual shame and
uh,
why
yes
do you think it
uh,
is?
so yes. So menstrual shame is basically, if you go by the definition, it is that the feeling that you are not allowed to talk about it. You just go through it. You have to just keep it a secret. You have to keep it hidden. Okay. Now, as we can see, according to many reports, these kind of stigmas, they actually lead to, if we keep something hidden, it leads to many kind of problems, because you are not letting the other people know what you're going through. Okay, if there is stigma, because of that only a lot of women die. Okay, because the males do not have any knowledge. Okay, and the women who are in rural areas, they over there, there's an economic problem also. They do not consider it very important to, like, since the sanitary napkins are not considered an essential commodity, so they do not even allot a budget to it. Okay, so women over there, they use dirty rags of clothes. Now I read an article sometime back where it was written, like, I have you like you must have known the name of Arunachalam Muruganantham. He was like giving an interview where said that his wife was using that kind of a cloth which he would not even use to clean his car. Okay, that she was using as a pad. Okay, and the worst part is that not even cloth, they use sand, ashes, leaves. So that leads to death. 70% of the maternal mortality is because of the reproductive problems, and that is because of unhygienic menstrual, the hygiene of menstruation time is not very much taken care of, because of these stigmas only, because of this shame only. What, according to me, what steps can be taken to like mitigate this shame is, most important fact is education. Education and awareness plays a very important role. As you can see, in ancient times, when there were matriarchal societies over there, it was considered a very very powering process. It was considered a very empowering process. If you are menstruating, even in today times, as you can see in South India, there are there are proper ceremonies when a girl hits her menarche, that is the first menstruation. She's celebrated like a god, because now she has been given the power of a god, to give birth to someone. So that is something to be celebrated about. It's not something to be, but even over there also, the men do not know what exactly the woman goes through, the bleeding she goes through. Okay, so That kind of a thing has to be taken in the society, and it starts with us. It has to start at the groundwork.
So, ma'am, do you think like men and women perceive differently about the idea of menstruation? Similarly, rural and urban people also perceive the idea of menstruation differently.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Like, okay, so what happens is that in rural side of the country, over there, what happens is that because, like, obviously, you know that girls are like very much discriminated against, and there are not quality schools over there, and nobody is really interested because over there the main issue is to eat something, like to get food daily, right? So this is considered a luxurious thing. Okay, like as you can notice, even in today's corona times also, sanitary napkins was not added in the essential commodities list. That speaks a lot about how our mindset works. Okay, and that happened in in Delhi, like places like Delhi also. Sanitary napkins is not an essential commodity. It is considered a luxurious subject. So if we consider rural people, rural women, they still consider it as something that is, that is something to be kept quiet about. Don't speak about it. It is because of the low education. Okay, and if we many times you can see that in rural places, because there is a lack of toilets, there are no toilets for girls. Okay, and that is why, because that is because of that, I'm so sorry, because of that only many girls like drop out. They cannot continue their education. They have to face embarrassment. If their skirt gets dirty, they have to face embarrassment, that see what happened to her. Like they can notice the blood on a skirt is a very big disgrace in our society. Okay, that should not be there. And in the urban places, the urban women, they are, because over here the women are very much independent. They are economically independent, they are socially independent. They are not afraid of anything. They can even answer you back if you shame them, right? But over here also, if you see, like if you see around you, the people you know who go in offices, over there also, if a woman has an opinion, then they say that she is PMSing, right? So that is a wrong term. You do not have to make a joke about something that a woman has to go through every month.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, like we are all talking about many superstitions in urban, rural places between men,
Hmm.
women, and everywhere there are superstitions. So, do you think that these superstitions are somehow connected to a woman's health during the time she is menstruating?
Yes, actually, like we are since talking about the superstitions, I would like to share some superstitions with you, which are very weird. Like there are some superstitions, like woman cannot go in temple because she is dirty. She cannot enter in the kitchen. She cannot bathe. Okay, she cannot touch the pickles. She cannot even, if we talk about superstitions, it is quite silly somewhere. Like in rural areas, a woman has to be outside her house in a separate room. Like a separate room is constructed for her, that she has to go and live over there because she is impure. If she comes in the contact of anybody, that person will get dirty, just like an untouchable. Though untouchability is banned, but you are not saying it actively, but you are doing it implicitly, that she's an untouchable. Okay, and as per your question, that what is the origin of these superstitions? Okay, so there are many theories. Like I read in psychology only that a very famous psychologist, Sigmund Freud, he said that basically this superstition, the shame, it occurred. It started because of the human's fear of blood. Okay, because humans were very much, there is an innate fear of blood. You do not want to see blood, like, by choice, right? So that started, that if there is blood, then something wrong is with the person only, right? But if we consider the time as it grew and grew, many people said that these superstitions were made because men actually feel inferior because of women's power to give birth to a child. They feel inferior, so they try to psychologically compensate for something that they cannot do biologically, right? They cannot biologically produce a child, so they psychologically compensate that social domination of women. just dominate her, that she is able to give a child, so let's just find faults in her, let's just find faults in what she goes through every month, right? And also, actually, if we consider, because the ancient societies were much more open-minded than today's time, at that time it was considered that a woman needs to rest. Okay, if in her 5 days of menstrual cycle she needs to rest, that is why she was not allowed to come out and work. But then suddenly, as we turn into a patriarchal society, that changed against the favor of women, that she is dirty, that is why she won't work. That's what.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, like in India, we know that the usage of tampons is like very less, and
Hmm.
tampons are like much easier to use during the menstruational time. As compared to like Western countries, usage of tampons is very less in India. So, do you think it is safe to use tampons?
Okay, so now since we are on this question, I would first like to tell you that what is a tampon. Okay, so because many of us don't know it, okay, so I would like to tell about it. Okay, so tampon is it's a plug of soft material that is inserted inside a woman's vagina to absorb menstrual blood. Okay, like a pad is used externally, a tampon is used internally. Okay, so now consider, apart from this, there are also menstrual cups. Okay, menstrual cups are also inserted inside the woman's vagina. It accumulates the blood. After that, you just change it, right? You do not have to like put a new cup over there. Okay, so okay, there are a lot of myths that are going around tampons. So the myths has a single source, that a woman's vagina is, it's a place of respect for the society. They do not want to harm the woman's vagina, right? So the myths which are going around tampons are like that, if you like, they are very scared to insert anything in the vagina, right? If you are inserting in your vagina, your hymen will break, you might not remain a virgin, who will marry you, right? Or you might become infertile. How will you give birth to a child then? You will be ostracized by the society. Apart from that, there are many such myths like uh, that, just a minute. Yes, that if you insert something in your vagina, then it might cause you a very serious bacterial infection and you may die because of that. Just scare the person. That also, now these are some myths. Apart from that, if we talk about the problem is that since there is not much awareness, okay, so women do not even like, they automatically they have a thing in their mind that it is not something to be used of, right? And there is an availability issue, because people don't take it. Then why will the shopkeeper stock up, right? They won't get it if nobody will purchase it from them. Huh? But I would like to tell you that there are many advantages of tampons. What are those? Like, I should tell you. First of all, it has a longer durability. You do not have to change it again and again, okay, because it absorbs a lot of blood. Also, you will feel much more free uh, than wearing a pad, because you won't even feel it. You won't even feel, there won't be any scratch, there won't be any rashes because of it. Many women, they go through so much pain and they are not able to tell it because of the stigma that is associated with it. Also, it is eco-friendly. The pad that a woman uses, one pad has a plastic of 5 plastic bags. Okay, so a tampon is eco-friendly. I would just like to say that please just, we need to be more aware about it. It's not a bad thing to use, ladies. You should use it.
Okay. So, ma'am, what like almost on our last question, like what changes would you like to see in the way girls are taught about menstruation?
Okay, so I would like to share my own experience with you. Uh, when a girl hits her menarche, that is her first period, she is not even aware about it, right? So what happened with me? I was in school. I was in my school, and I was just playing, and it suddenly like started, and I was like, "What is this? Like, why is the?" I thought that I had some injury. Okay, and I was just roaming around with that, with that red spots all over my skirt, and nobody knew, nobody told me, you know, and I was like very normal. I was that is like a that I took it normally. But if some other person, they can be embarrassed, they can be so much ashamed of themselves that they have done something wrong, that blood is coming out, right? So I would like to just tell to everybody that please educate your girls. They should be educated by this thing by the time they turn around 6 to 7 years of age, because they should be prepared of something that is going to happen with them, so that they take it in a very effective manner. If suppose you're not there with her when it first happens, just think about the condition of that small little child who have to face it on her own. So we need to spread more awareness about it, that this is something very natural. We need to explain the process. Just I just want to like end it on the final. I want to say that like when a girl, when we are around 11 to 12 years of age, in every school girls are taken into separate room to talk about menstruation. Boys are like told to just you stay outside. Why? Is that a society that will be there after they come out of that room? No. Society is a co-ed. It's like everybody is there. So boys and girls should be taught about, but girls should be taught prior to that thing, so that she is able to manage it. She is not able to manage it, then it's a very big problem for her.
Okay, ma'am. So, ending it, I would like to ask you to in a line, what would you like to tell our audience who will be watching this later on? What message would you like to
um,
give them?
I would just like to say that if for the woman, that please do not be ashamed of it, because it actually starts with you. If you talk about it, then slowly and gradually the things will change. It has changed a lot. If we talk about, uh, if we see the recent times, it has changed a lot. But right now also we need a lot of changes. Like if you see something that is going wrong, like if you see in the advertisements, they show that something blue is coming out and it is going in the pad, they do not even have the courage to show blood coming out. They show blue blood. Why do you show blue blood? You should They show a girl who is climbing up a wall, right? Show something for the menstrual hygiene. Why not? It starts from the advertisements. What better good than a TV, right? It goes to the ground population. For the men, I would like to say that if you see any girl who is in such a condition, then please help her. Please, I would request to all the parents, all the fathers and brothers, to please bring a pad for your sister if she requests for that. Don't be ashamed. And please request the shopkeeper to not give it in a black polythene bag. It is not something to be disgraced of. Why are you disgraced of it just because it comes out of a woman's vagina, right? So that's what I want to say. And I am hoping for a positive change after this video. I am not saying a very big change, but small steps lead to a bigger milestone. Uh, just like Arunachalam Murugananthanam did was this small work. He was left by his parents. He was led by his villagers. He was considered a madman. But now you see, there are movies, there are documentaries based on his work where he has made a machine for affordable sanitary napkins. See around you also, the government of Maharashtra and Odisha, they have started schemes like Khushi and Asmita Yojana to aware the girls, right? So the change starts with you. Please aware everybody around you. I would just like to say this.
As a keynote, ma'am, I would like to thank you for educating us and for personalizing this message of stigma of menstruation with your own story, and giving us
Thank
such
you.
an insightful, making this session so insightful. Um, I hope from this video people can learn more about the stigmas around that are surrounding menstruation, and they try to help women, like you said, that they try to help the mother, sisters, or even the girls in their class when they start for the first time menstruation. So with that note, I would like to thank you and everyone who would be listening to it, and would like to request them to get rid of the menstrual shame and help each other, and uh, Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.